Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. It's a Friday afternoon and we have a big weekend coming up. We have Trooping the Colour tomorrow. We hopefully will see some interesting sights, but hopefully most interesting on the balcony. And then on Sunday it is Father's Day, and that might be quite eventful too. So lots to look forward to, but meanwhile I'm going to have some fun this afternoon. We are still looking at the state of the marriage and possibility of Splitsville being quite imminent, and one of the reasons why people speculate that things might be on the brink of total collapse in the marriage is that Harry is looking for a house, a property of his own in the UK. He was making noises about getting Frogmore Cottage back, but apparently he's prepared to actually spend money himself to buy a property in the UK. A lot of speculation about why that might be: tax reasons, inheritance from the late Queen Mother. People speculate that there might be some sort of payout from a trust fund on his 40th birthday, the visa saga, the security saga. I'm sure I've missed things. So there are all kinds of reasons. It's like the perfect storm. But one of the prime reasons people are speculating about is that he might be wanting a home of his own in the UK because Meghan won't be able to get near him there. And there is a blind rumour, blind gossip, a little paragraph which says the first step in the split is to have a home in his home country. Terrible grammar, that. A home in his home country. You know, the illiterate one, Meghan Markle, won't go there, and he will be safe from her pleas, which would soon turn to, making his life miserable. It says her life miserable. His life miserable. Anyway, never mind. The gist of it is, get her home far, far away in a country she has vowed never to set foot in again. We saw that recently. She wasn't prepared to leave the Windsor suite at Heathrow to go and celebrate the Invictus Games, even though the Invictus Games seems to be spending quite a lot of money on her, allegedly, and her wardrobe and her accommodation and everything else. So he would be safe from her and her beseeching and her sobbing on the floor and clawing at him and begging him not to leave her, and the tinies, the littles, as she calls him. And this follows on from rumours that swirled around when Harry made that mad dash back to London when the King's cancer diagnosis was made public, and he threw himself on a plane, rushed back to the UK. And people say that one of the reasons he was there was to beg and plead to be allowed to stay at Sandringham so that she wouldn't be able to get her claws into him, contact him, and he would be safe, and the royal drawbridge could be raised and Meghan left on the other side of the moat, so to speak. So we're going to have a look at this now. Celtic Cross coming up with one of my favourite tarot decks, the Shadowland Tarot. And of course it's a dark tarot. It's about self-interest and pettiness and projection and all the stuff that one doesn't really want to admit to, but is there in one's shadow self, and if one isn't self-aware, one projects it out. So that's the Shadowland Tarot, scruffy little vulgar little tarot deck, which reads very nicely in these royal readings. I wouldn't use it on anyone that I loved and cherished, I can tell you that. But it is fit for purpose when we're talking about Harry and the house hunt, or even the mouse hunt. So Celtic Cross, as I say, coming up. What's going on with this house business? Is it to get away from her so that she can't phone and plead and weep and wail and come knocking at the door, and he can just basically, it's a strong word that wants to come out, I'm going to say it because it's my opinion here, basically disown her. A harsh word, a very harsh word, but there it is. That's what came to my mind as I was shuffling these cards. Let's see if the cards have more harsh things to say, or I'm reading the energy quite wrong. We'll soon find out. And let's remind you that this is just tarot. It's for fun and entertainment. It is all my opinion. It is all speculation. I just read energy here. And there is, of course, a disclaimer in the box below. One more shuffle, and then we'll get to the Celtic cloths and see if one of the prime reasons for this house hunt in the UK is to separate himself from her influence, her manipulation, her tears, her tantrums. Who you ruined my life. I sacrificed everything for you. My brilliant career. My enormous potential for you. Let's see. And there we have the Celtic cross, and our underlying energy, is the Eight of Wands. Is a swift energy, unblocking. Messaging, progress, forward movement, rushing. I'm getting real rush energy off that Eight of Wands. And from a situation where energy has been blocked, or somebody has been really quite defensive and on the back foot, which would be the Seven of Wands, you come to the Eight of Wands and there's a sudden opportunity to, I'm going to say, escape. It's like a getaway card. The car is revving and you're able to fling yourself into it and drive away. And that is what the Eight of Wands is telling me energetically. So let's see. The heart of the reading, we're reading, of course, from Harry's point of view. What is going on? We have the King of Cups in reverse. That's taking your cup off and away when it's in reverse, and leaving a situation, going cold, ice cold. Can even be retreating from someone to the extent that it's almost like ghosting them. That's what's coming through for me. Of course, the King of Cups, we have four really in the royal family, quite senior royals, but we focus on two, the King himself and Prince William. And so those are people who might not be so interested in helping the has-been buy a house in the UK and welcoming him back with open arms, with their energy in the reverse, their King of Cups. But I think that the primary energy that's coming through with that King of Cups in reverse is that he really has gone cold on the whole relationship. And a lot of people say he's under some sort of spell. He's, almost Stockholm syndrome. Those are the kinds of terms that are bandied around, and that he's desperate and he weeps and wails if she threatens to leave him. Don't leave me, Megs, what will I do without you? Quite a weird power dynamic in the relationship. I'm no expert on these things, but this is what people say, and this is what I'm repeating. But there it is, King of Cups in reverse. That is really going cold. But it's also somebody who's quite volatile emotionally, because upright the King of Cups is in control of his emotions. He's not subject to the whims of fate, and has good days and bad days. In reverse, this could be that he has days when he's out of there, he's gone, Eight of Wands, and other days when no, he's going to give it another chance. And of course, she's the only one who understands him and has supported him and been loyal to him. And so why would he take that cup and disappear? Quite a complex energy in that King of Cups in reverse. What is his problem? What's blocking him? And we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This card is showing up quite a lot in reverse at the moment. The happy single lady, upright, self-reliant, very well provided for, living the life of luxury and ease. It's in reverse. The problem is that she is not living the life of luxury and ease. She is not able to provide for herself. She hasn't succeeded at her own endeavors. And most infamously, American Riviera Orchard, which has failed spectacularly. And apparently the cooking show also an absolute dud. I've read on it a few times. It looks like it's not going to get anywhere. And so the problem is that until she is established financially on her own 2 feet, able to provide for herself and earn her billions, he has got a problem. He, of course, also hasn't managed to make much money. Well, he made money out of his book, and maybe he'll have to go and write another one. But it's a financial problem, financial independence problem. It's going to cost him a lot of money if things reach the divorce stage. What's going on behind the scenes? What's at the root of all of this? What don't we know? The Three of Swords. I saw that when I read on her and divorce. That was the outcome card. Heartbreak, devastation, betrayal. This is not how it was supposed to go. Three of Swords is always a third party energy as well. So one of them could be playing away. But it's more that this just has been a catastrophe of a marriage. It has really had devastating consequences. We're reading from Harry's point of view. It's had a devastating impact on his life. That is, of course, my opinion. But objectively looking at it, you can see what he has lost. He's lost his blood family. He's lost his friends, his very high status friends, the Duke of Westminster, not wanting him at his wedding last weekend. He has lost his reputation. He's lost his popularity. He's almost lost his mind. Sometimes you look at him and think, what on earth is going on with him? He seems very unhappy. He seems to be, in my opinion, he seems to be quite heavily under the influence of substances at moments when he really shouldn't be. And so it's all an absolute disaster. And I think that he genuinely went into this thinking that theirs was the greatest love story ever told. Not really. And I think he's worked that one out. Finally, amazing that the penny has finally dropped. And let's see what his focus is on right now with this house hunt and the speculation he might be trying to get away from her. The Seven of Cups, he still thinks that he's got possibilities around and about in the world. Still a bit deluded. I said with that King of Cups in reverse that there might be good days and bad days. There might be days where he is possibly even so under the influence he doesn't know what's going on or what his mind or his heart wants. But that's my speculation. That's coming through the energy of the cards that I'm reading here. So it blows hot and cold. Deluded, still the Seven of Cups, doesn't really know his own mind. Thinks possibly that he has more prospects, better prospects than he actually does in reality. He might still be deluded about the state of the marriage. It sounds enormously contradictory, given that I've got the Three of Swords down here in the real subconscious hidden energy of what's really driving this whole situation. Broken heart, betrayed, abandoned, can't believe life has gone so wrong or the relationship has gone so wrong. But then this, oh well, you know, maybe it isn't that bad. Maybe we can still go on our worldwide privacy tour and outroyal the royals and make tons of money. Or maybe I can get back in with the royals in the UK and everything will be great. This is somebody who isn't really very grounded in reality, unfortunately. And I think a lot of the problem with Harry is that he's really not grounded in reality. And you can blame him and his personalities to some extent, but I think you can also blame his upbringing and the strange environment that he lived in for most of his life until he found himself in Montecito. How have things been going in the relationship? Up until now, we've got the Devil in reverse. Haha. That is the, I need to get away. I need to break this toxic cycle. This relationship is dangerous for me. Awareness, definitely awareness of the level of toxicity that the two of them create when they are together, in my opinion. But the need to break the cycle, maybe even some awareness of how obsessive this relationship is, how codependent it is, a lot of the anger, a lot of the addiction, a lot of the obsession and all of that kind of stuff might be penetrating. It just might. There is the need in this card, the Devil in reverse, to cut ties and to learn somehow to be his own person on his own. And so the speculation that we're reading on today about the fact that he might want a home in the UK so that he can put some distance between himself and her, it's there in the Devil card. And this is recent past energy, so there does seem to be some impetus towards separating himself from her influence with that Devil in reverse. Interesting energy. What's coming next for him? The House Hunt, the Great Escape, and we have the Five of Wands, conflict, fight, and that would be fighting with her, fighting possibly with the royals as well, because he's got himself into a mess all around the block. So he's got to dominate her somehow if he really is serious about breaking that cycle with the Devil in reverse. If he's really broken hearted and devastated and he really wants out, King of Cups in reverse, and he really wants to be independent, then he's got to stand up for himself, Five of Wands. He's got to dominate, he's got to assert himself and really I won't say outwit, because I don't think he can outwit anyone. And the Five of Wands isn't about wits. It's not a battle of wits. It's about energy. It's about who you can muscle out. And so he's got lots of muscling out to do. There might be hangers-on in Montecito he needs to get rid of. Interesting thought. There might be people in the UK he thinks he needs to get rid of. Uncle Andrew, Frogmore Cottage, that sort of situation. He's got to reassert himself. It's almost like those balcony scenes. A lot of YouTubers have been playing clips from the past, which are quite interesting to view now with the benefit of hindsight, and the machinations, the maneuvering on that balcony by Meghan in particular, Harry to some extent, but mostly Meghan, trying to get next to the Queen, trying to get next to Catherine, trying to get the best camera angle so she could be in the best shot. And all this machination and maneuvering is here in the Five of Wands, that he's thinking, well, it's trooping the colour and I need to be on that balcony again, and I need to be on royal property, and I need to wear my uniform and all that kind of stuff. But first of all, I need to assert myself with my wife and win that battle. Five of Wands is about winning. So how does he view his marriage right now? A nightmare. And I'm not even tempted to laugh. It's amazing, the gloom has set in again. I start these readings and lovely light and darkness has descended. But we'll make it through this one, hopefully. Nine of Swords is the stress card, the worry, the nightmare. Toss, toss, toss at night. What do I do? How do I get myself out of this mess? This Three of Swords, devastating heartbreak, this absolute disaster of marriage, in my opinion. How do I get out of this mess? What pressure is he under? A Six of Cups. Dear. He wants to go home. He wants to go back to the past, the happy past, the past of the sentimental journey, shall we say. Back to the times, the good old days, when he had all his mates. Nobody was saying, no, we don't want to visit you in California because we can't stand that bitch wife of yours. And you're a changed man and we don't like what has happened to you. And of course the brother as well, and the family, his sister-in-law, his niece and nephews. He wants the past back. But of course you can't step into the same river. The past is gone. His hopes and fears with his house hunting, and well, he wants back on track with that Knight of Pentacles. He wants to be Prince Harry again, the most popular royal that ever royaled, and on the balcony in his uniform and adoring people fainting in the crowd, women swooning over him. I don't think women ever really swooned over him, part of the problem. But he wants to be Knight of Pentacles again. He's hoping he can be Knight of Pentacles again. Ties in with this Seven of Cups, the level of delusion. Maybe he can have half in and half out, have the worldwide privacy tours with Meghan and be more popular than anyone else, but also be on the balcony. No, But let's see what the outcome is for Harry in this back to the UK, get his own home, get away from her. Little reading that we're doing, the scenario that we are looking at. Ooh, Two of Cups in reverse, Splitsville. There it is. Two of Cups in reverse. We have every sign in this reading of wanting out of the marriage, wanting back home. Eight of Wands, underlying energy, unblocking, forward motion. It's, you know, a blocked pipe. And suddenly you unblock it and the water's flowing again. And the drains are unblocked and you can take a nice shower or whatever you want to do without having to stand in awful nasty water. Sorry about that image, just came to me. He was working on the plumbing when that woman from the cut showed up to do that interview. Alison somebody or other. We have the Three of Swords, we have the Devil in reverse, we have the King of Cups in reverse, Five of Wands, we have wanting Six of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, and outcome Two of Cups in reverse. I'm almost tempted to say any time now, any time. And we're going to look next at the interesting little rumour that one of the minor royals is placing bets on when that announcement will come. So that's where we're heading. Thanks for watching this one, and have a lovely weekend if you're off doing special things, Father's Day weekend, and I will see you tomorrow.